Hello dear students, good morning and welcome back. So today in this video lecture we will be discussing about vector quantities and scalar quantities, right? So what are vector quantities and scalar quantities? So we are going to discuss about that for class 9th, all right? So before proceeding to vector quantities and scalar quantities, I would like to ask you one small thing that have you ever heard about force, time and mass and weight? I think everyone must have heard about these things, like, and these are basically called as physical quantities. Like weight is a physical quantity, mass is a physical quantity, distance is a physical quantity, speed is a physical quantity, velocity is a physical quantity, mass weight is a physical quantity, right? So these are physical quantities, right? And these physical quantities consist of basically magnitude and unit. Like suppose I say mass is 10 kg, so 10 is basically this numeric value, 10 is the magnitude here, this is the magnitude here, and this kg here is the unit of mass. Is it clear? Like suppose I talk about force, then I write like 10 newton, so 10 is basically the magnitude here, and this numeric value is the magnitude, and this newton is basically the unit of force, right? So these force, time, weight and mass, these are basically called as the physical quantities, and these physical quantities are generally maximum of them are categorized under vector quantities and scalar quantities. So here in this video we are going to study about vector quantities and scalar quantities, right? There are more other types of quantities like tensor quantities, but that is not in your syllabus, so we will be discussing only about vector quantities and scalar quantities. Like, so scalar quantities, like scalar quantities are those quantities which have only magnitude in them. What they have? Only magnitude. Magnitude means they have the numeric value, that is like I suppose 10 kg, 10 kg, so 10 is basically the magnitude, so 10 kg, and kg is the unit of mass, and mass is basically a scalar quantity. I will teach you why this is scalar, but right now I am just explaining you the definition of scalar quantity, and that is the scalar quantities are those quantities which have only magnitude in them, whereas a vector quantity is a quantity which have magnitude as well as direction. It has direction also. It has magnitude as well as direction. If I say a person has moved 5 meter towards east, so this 5 meter towards east is involving the magnitude, that is 5, unit is there, leave the unit, 5 is the magnitude as well as towards east, so it is indicating the direction as well. So this is a vector quantity, this is a vector quantity we are talking about, and this is the example of displacement, right? I'll teach you everything, but right now I'm just explaining the definition. So the vector quantities are quantities, vector quantities are quantities which have only vector quantities are the quantities which have magnitude as well as direction in them, whereas a scalar quantity is a quantity which have only magnitude in it, right? Now let's understand why these are categorized under vector and scalar quantity. So that is the nature of a physical quantity, that is basically the nature of the physical quantity, and that's those terms vectors and scalar has come from nowhere. Like these were the basically nature of the physical quantity. What was that? The nature of the physical quantity. Like suppose I'll give you two examples, and it will be easy for you to understand why these are categorized under vector and scalar. Like suppose there is a box, and a child is pushing the box from this direction with a force of 10 newton, right? And another child is also pushing the box from the other direction, and that is 10 newton force, with 10 newton force, right? So both the children are applying force of 10 newton on the box, but from the opposite direction. Like, got the point? Suppose this is child A and this is child B, and this child A is applying the force in this direction and child B is applying the force in this direction. So can you tell me where the box is going to move? No, I think the box is not going to move, because these forces are going to nullify the effect of each other. That is, the net resultant force will become equal to 0. That net resultant force will become equal to 0. And suppose this was not the case, would have changed, and the students, both the student, that is both the boys A and B, are applying the force of 10 Newton now, and they are applying the force in the same direction. So you are going to get the net resultant force as 20 Newton in this direction. All of you must be understanding this. It's very easy. Now the box is going to move in this direction. So here, while adding 10 Newton to 10 Newton, I have considered the direction, and this was basically the unit of force. What they were applying force, and this force cannot, you while solving the numerical based on force, or while adding the forces, you cannot ignore the direction of the force. This is basically very easy to understand, because these are the things which you experience in your daily life as well, right? So I think the direction of force cannot be ignored while adding up the forces, because if you are going to push a box in the same direction of if you and one of your friend is going to push the box in the same direction, that is going to give a resultant force in the same direction, right? And if suppose your friend and you are pushing the box in the opposite direction, like your friend is pushing the box in another direction and you are pushing the box in the opposite direction to that direction, then the resultant force will be different, right? And this is a practical thing which you can do, right? So you understand this much, right? So while adding the forces, you cannot ignore the direction. So direction is basically direction. This direction is involved in the force. This direction is basically involved in that physical quantity. You cannot get rid of it, right? You cannot get rid of it. So basically this force is a vector quantity. This is a vector quantity. Got the point? So vector quantities are those quantities which have direction, and whenever they are considered, the direction has to be considered because it cannot be ignored. So those quantities are called as the vector quantity. Got the point? I hope this is clear, right? This is the vector quantity. Now we'll talk about the scalar quantity. So let's take another example for that. Now see, suppose I have taken a container. Although my drawing is not good, I'm repeating again and again, so my drawing is not that good. Is it clear? So I'll draw the container. So I have made two holes in the container on the top side, right? Two holes on the container at the top side, and now I've tried to fill water in it, like 2 liters of water I fill from this hole, and 2 liters of water from this hole in the same direction I am filling, right? And the water in the container, now the water in the container will be 4 liters, I suppose, if I am not mistaken, right? Now you should say if it is right or wrong, right? Decide yourself. So now what I have done here is I have taken two holes in the same sort of container, but now I am taking the holes in the opposite direction. Now don't tell me, sir, when you are going to fill water from this side, that water is going to come out from this side. No, I am taking a hose pipe or the pipe which is tightly connected to it, and no water can come out of it, right? And I am taking a small hole this side so that air can pass, because some of the students will be saying, sir, you are teaching it right, but air won't be able to pass, then how will the container will get filled, right? So so let's take some water from here, like 2 liters of water I am putting from here, right? I'm filling the container with 2 liters of water from this hole, and simultaneously I am putting 2 liters of water from this hole, right? So how much water do you think is going to get inside the container? I think the water which is going to get inside the container again will be 4 liter. Am I right or wrong? I think I am right. So what I'm right, this is right, this is also right. So 2 liter water from any direction filled inside the container, 2 liter again is filled inside the container from any direction. That water inside the container now will be 4 liters, and if it is filled in the opposite direction also, the water inside the container is 4 liter. If it is filled from the same direction, the water inside the container is going to be 4 liters. From any direction you are going to fill the water in the container, it is going to be 4 liter. So such quantities where the direction is not considered, because when you are going to do it by yourself, you're going to do this practical by yourself, you will be able to understand that the direction doesn't matter here. The direction can be ignored, right? It can be ignored because that doesn't matter even. So these quantities where the direction is not involved while adding them are called as the scalar quantities, right? You got the point? So the scalar quantities are those quantities which have only magnitude, and vector quantities are those quantities which have magnitude as well as a direction. Moreover, I would like to tell you one important thing, that in vector quantities, generally vector quantities are represented by the letter like suppose I am representing force, so force will be represented this way. F is going to indicate force, and an arrow will be on the head of the force, and that is going to resemble that it's a vector quantity. So this is how you write the vector form of any physical quantity. So there will be physical quantity, and that vector form of that physical quantity will be written with the initial letter, right? Initial letter, or you can say the letter which is resembling that physical quantity, and above that, at the top of that, you are going to draw a arrow, right? So that is going to give you that is going to that is the representation of a vector quantity basically, right? So this is how you represent vector quantity. And see, dear students, if suppose this direction is taken as positive direction, then this direction will be considered as the negative direction, right? So it is not it's not always that you have to take the right direction. The body moving towards right is positive, or the body moving towards upward direction is considered to be as positive direction. You can choose any direction you want, right? Any direction you can consider as positive, and the opposite direction to it will be considered as negative direction. Any direction you can choose as positive, and the direction opposite to that direction will be considered as negative. Or if according to the question, you have to see if something is in some question, basically I want to say that in some question some of the direction is considered as positive, some of the direction is beforehand considered as positive, right? So the direction opposite to that direction will be considered you have to consider that direction as a negative, right? So let's take an example. Like suppose a child, see, I'll go to mark the directions. This is east, say this is west, this is north, this is south, right? So a child basically moves towards east direction, and that is 5 meter towards east direction, 5 meter towards east direction. Now I ask you a question, that how much distance this boy has traveled towards east. What I am asking, how much distance this boy has traveled towards east. So direction I have predefined the direction which you have to consider, that you have to consider direction towards east. So how much distance this boy has traveled, or boy has moved towards east. So that answer should be like 5 meter, positive 5 meter towards east, because the boy has proceeded towards east, and that is 5 meter, because we are taking this as the origin or the point of reference, right? Point of reference I have already explained. So those who have not those who don't know the meaning of this term point of reference, so please see my previous video lecture so that you can get it clear, right? So this 5 meter towards east, so that will be positive 5 meter towards east, this boy has moved. If I change the question and ask you how much distance this boy has traveled towards west, how much distance this boy has traveled towards west. Now the question arises, this boy hasn't traveled any distance towards west, because from the origin now he has only traveled towards east. So the direction here will be considered minus 5 meter towards west. Now you are going to write it minus 5 meter towards where this negative sign is going to represent opposite direction. Now what is this negative sign is representing? That is representing opposite direction. That means that boy has moved 5 meter opposite to the direction, that is west direction, opposite to west direction. Boy has moved 5 meter opposite to west direction, and that is towards east. Is it clear? So minus sign is going to indicate the direction that is opposite. The direction which you are considering, the opposite direction to it will be represented by the negative sign. So whatever direction you are considering as positive, the direction opposite to it will be negative. So first and foremost, I would like to repeat my words which I have already explained in my first video lecture, that whenever you are considering any direction as a positive direction, or any point as a point of reference, throughout solving the question you have to consider that particular point as the point of reference which you have considered initially. And if you have taken any direction as positive direction initially, throughout solving any numerical you have to consider that particular direction as positive only. You cannot change the direction again and again in the same numerical, right? So beforehand you have to decide which direction you are going to consider as positive or negative, because that is in your hand, you can consider any direction as positive, any direction as negative. Suppose you are considering this direction as positive, then the direction opposite to this will become negative, and if you are considering this direction as negative, then the direction opposite to will be considered as positive. That's very simple, isn't it? So vector quantities and scalar quantities, I hope that is very clear to you students, and I'll be bringing more interesting lectures, so stay tuned with me. Till then, bye bye dear students, and stay home, stay safe, be healthy. Bye bye.